This chick says she'll never move in with a man if she has to split the rent bill. Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
I made a video talking about how me personally, would not move in with a man if I was going to have to split the rent bill down the middle. And it went so viral. And I just want to address angry men that are like, septum ring theory, you're a lesbian, you probably drive a Subaru Outback.
Septum ring theory.
And you can have daddy problems. It's like, really not that serious. And let me tell you guys something. Shock, horror, surprise. When my mother married my dad, he said, I know I love you because I want to take care of you. And they've been married and they are so happy. And they are, yes, each other's best friends. And obviously they have a joint bank account. But my dad has always provided for that woman. My dad has built that woman a house with his bare hands. So if you think that you're going to get me to settle for anything less than what I've watched my dad do for my mom, don't hold your breath.
Who's going to tell her? Who's going to tell her? Ma'am, you don't hold your breath. You don't hold your breath. Your father built a house with his bare hands for your mother, and sounds like he spoiled you. A lot of fathers do this. They'll raise their kids. You know what? I don't even think her dad told her, hey, never contribute to the bills. Because, you know, she says she won't split the bills halfway. She won't split the bills anyway. I think that based on what she saw and the lack of guidance, you know, he doesn't know as an older dude. He thinks it still works the same way. And also plus the influence of TikTok. This chick actually is waiting for somebody who's going to treat her like her father treated her mother, not in compassion and other attributes or helping out in other areas within the household and, you know, relieving mental stress, etc. No. She wants a house built for her. Let's check out the original video.
Splitting the rent to live with a man is so crazy to me because why would you do that when you could split rent and live with your best friend?
The whole split rent and live with your best friend idea is just so... It's First of all, you know you don't want to do that because you would have done that. You can't get along with your best friend. You want a man. That's what it is. You need help. Just like every other chick who's sitting there trying to figure out how they're going to somehow live life on easy mode and somehow live this fairy tale life that's sold to women online. She is deceived. You have to watch out for these chicks who believe they can replace a man with a woman, because they believe there's no difference. They don't look at you as somebody who's going to guide and lead them. No, you're just a body. Either you're producing resources and income. They don't value masculinity, nothing.
No one is angrier at a woman with standards and boundaries than a man who can't meet them. I wish you guys took all the energy you spend begging women to lower their standards for you and did anything else with it. I am not attracted to a man that is going to send me a Venmo request for half of a dinner bill. And on the contrary, nothing turns me on more than when the man I'm dating takes me out on a date he planned, picks up the tab as soon as the waiter drops it on the table, and then tips 20% on top of the total. That shit got me like, let's get out of here immediately. Let's get out of here before I bang your brains out in this restaurant.
Is that it? I thought she was going to say something crazy like, you know, tips 50%. That's all it takes, a 20% tip, and you're ready to bang the guy's brains out. I take everything I said back. You're definitely gonna find somebody who's willing to do that, but you're lying. You're lying because
drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
You don't drink coffee. Trust and believe, bro. Tipping is not gonna get you laid. If that's what you think is gonna get you laid, spending money on these chicks, listening to what they say, going out in the real world and doing it is not what's going to get you laid, right? This is internet talk. This is what women are like. This is what we are supposed to be saying online. And in reality, they're helping pick up the tab for the dudes they find attractive, who don't, of course, they see them as short-term partners, right? The dudes that are holding them over as they pray for the simp. Kind of like Kayla Nicole, who recently swore that she never went 50-50, when there's actual footage of the man, her ex, who she dated, who said, hey, if it was like $100 or so, I didn't mind paying it. And it sounded like anything more than that, he wasn't trying to pay all of it. And then there's this small tinge of unspoken vibe that no one talks about, except once in a while someone will mention it. Did these chicks sound like escorts?
I just wanted to know, how many of us women are aware that the baddie hot girl mentality, I'm talking about getting flown out and having everything paid for, going to dinner and having it paid for. If I go to dinner, he's got to pay for my rent. If I go to dinner, he's got to pay for, my meal and then some, and the meal's got to be $500 plus.
Right.
Do y'all know that mentality is from prostitution and being a high-paid escort?
Except they're low-paid escorts, right? That chick who said 20% tip and I'm ready to bang your brains out. Oof.
Do we know this? I'm just not sure if we know this, because I'm curious. Many people act like they're shocked when they hear this. But do y'all know that?
They know. They know. They know. But what they don't know, but they'll soon find out, is they'll be singing this song for a very long time until they've hit that wall.
So I came across this. Lisa Ray, 57 years old, says she will only be with a man paying 100% of her bills and expenses. Lisa. You was bad back in the day in the 90s as Diamond in the Players Club. But this is 2024. We damn near 40 years later, okay? You supposed to have grandkids and be with your husband of 35 years by now, celebrating your anniversary. What are you doing single? When you've had access to all of the men that you've had access to, what are you doing? What have you been doing? This is what happens when time is wasted and you think that you have forever to make moves. I know, and everyone else should know, that your time is short. As we age, we don't look as good, feel as good, seem as good as we used to. And I don't want to hear y'all ladies simping out in the comments talking about, oh my God, she looks good for her age. For her age. Put that on it. Because at 57, the women that get all of their bills paid 100% are called wives. And if you're not, by 57, chances are very slim.
Yeah, guys, that's it. You know, this always reminds me of that stat, man, of 45% of women projected to be single by 2030. We're about to hit 2025. We only have like 5 more years until we actually see that ourselves. Let me talk to our AI assistant barista, Miss Coffee. I want to know if we're on track. We might be ahead of schedule, right? With that stat actually being fulfilled. Hold on. Miss Coffee, are you familiar with the stat that talks about how close to half of marriageable women will be single and childless by 2030? And do you have any indication based on trends, whatever, that we're heading towards that? Is there a chance we may get that sooner? Not that I want that, right? But I'm just curious.
Yes, I'm familiar with the statistic that predicts a significant percentage of women of marriageable age, roughly those in their late 20s to early 40s, will be single and childless by 2030. This data point was prominently shared by a Morgan Stanley report titled The Rise of the Economy, which projected that 45% of women in this age group in developed countries would be single and childless by 2030. This prediction is based on various social, economic, and demographic trends. Here are some of the contributing factors and trends that support this projection. Delayed marriage and childbearing. Many women are postponing marriage and children to pursue education, careers, and personal development.
Boss babes.
Studies show that both men and women are getting married later in life compared to previous generations, and women are choosing to have children later or not at all. Economic independence. Women's growing financial independence has reduced the economic necessity to marry. With more women focusing on careers, their personal goals often shift away from traditional family structures. Cultural shifts. Societal norms around family and marriage are changing. Marriage is no longer seen as a necessary milestone for many women, and there is less social pressure to have children compared to earlier generations. Fertility trends. Fertility rates in many developed countries are steadily declining. Factors like the high cost of raising children, increased urbanization, and changing life priorities are making many people opt for smaller families or child-free lifestyles. As for whether this projection could happen sooner, it's possible based on the acceleration of some trends. For instance, the COVID-19 pandemic shifted many people's priorities and delayed life plans such as marriage and childbearing. With these interruptions, we may see the rate of single and childless women increasing at a faster pace. The prediction is based on existing trends, and it could materialize sooner if these social and economic factors continue to evolve as they have been. However, there is always the possibility of counter trends emerging, such as new cultural movements or policies that encourage family formation, which could alter the course.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see that happening. Yeah. And, when it comes to marriage, when it comes to family, when it comes to children, when it comes to producing a stronger and more mentally stable society, families are very important. So, what am I trying to say? We're in for a crazy long ride. Guys, as always, I'm curious to know, what do you think? Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you as always checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pot. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.